Hello and welcome to our live demonstration today, here from VEGA in the headquarters in Schildach in Germany. My name is Volker Allgeier and today we want to show you how aquaculture industry can benefit from technology from VEGA, here from Schildach presented. Due to the pandemic situation, we are not able to say welcome to our Norwegian colleagues, which are now, due to that fact, participating from their office in Norway. And first of all, I want to say hello, Paul. Hello, Nils. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So the aquaculture industry is the industry that we have seen, okay, here is something going on. There's going on very much, especially in Norway. This is why our colleagues are here. They are the absolute specialists. They have a very deep knowledge. And I've taken in the last months a lot of time, I invested a lot of time to learn from them what is going on and where our sensors are used there. Would you be so kind and introduce yourself and tell where is your knowledge? What can you tell us? Paul, it's your time.
Yes, my name is Paul. I have been working with VEGA since the 80s. So during all these years, I have seen a lot of applications, not only in fish farms, but also I have visited oil platforms, ships, and most kind of land-based industry. Today, I'm working as a key account officer here in Norway.
Yes, warm welcome from my side too. My name is Nils and I work as a sales responsible for the aquaculture industry here in Norway. I've been with the VEGA for almost 7 years now. So for the next 40 minutes, we want to give you a brief overview about what VEGA level and pressure measurement could mean for you for different type of applications. We will talk about some specific applications and show you our experience within this industry for the future within level and pressure.
Yes, and like I've seen that this industry is a very big industry in Norway, I've seen that also a lot of these farms are existing all over the world, not only in Norway. They are existing in Asia, in America, in all continents all over the world. And there are a lot of measurements that are done there. We can help to improve those systems by operating more safely and more reliable with our technology. So Paul, would you be so kind and tell us about one application?
We have called this industry the aquaculture to include all kind of farmed seafood. They have one thing in common. They need both food and plenty of fresh clean water with oxygen. Aquaculture started in Norway. We started to farm fish here in the 1960s. And today the fish farming is one of our main industries. This is thanks to our world famous salmon, which is exported everywhere. So maybe you are aware of it. And as we have delivered thousands of instruments to this industry already here in Norway, it might happen that the fish which is served on your table has already seen a yellow instrument. We are measuring the level in tanks, fish tanks, like you show in the background there. But we also have it in silage tanks, in the food and feeding systems. We also have RAS packages, which means recirculating of the water. We are doing in the chemical tanks when we have to clean the tanks. And we also have supplied a lot of sensor for lice treatment. So there is a lot of applications for our instruments in this industry. And Nils, can you explain us a little bit about what kind of instruments has been used so far?
Yes, I can. We have used many type of instruments for various type of application within this industry. We have used a lot of pressure instruments for both level and pressure control, and a lot of limit switches for both liquids and solids. Pressure sensors are a big part of this industry due to the water treatment application, as Paul mentioned. The industry has also a high focus on having sensors not in contact with the medium inside of these tanks and silos. So radars and ultrasonic are the two preferred technologies. And today we want to show you the difference between these two technologies and show you what technical advantages the radars can offer you. So, Paul, would you tell us a little bit about the first application we are going to speak about?
Yes, let's start at the beginning. The fish tanks. In hatcheries, the small fishes are born and they live in small tanks in the beginning on shore. And then they are pumped into bigger tanks, which traditionally was located outside. And you can imagine they are located outside beside a river or with the sea. So they have access to plenty of water. And you can imagine the harsh environment we have here in Norway and also worldwide, with lots of wind, rain, storm, and even snow. So this makes a big impact on the measurement. Today, most of these tanks are located inside because there you have better control of the environment, and you can also play with the temperature and the light. But inquiries and the demands for these instruments is increasing. So we need to have a good sensor, a good reliable sensor for everything. So we thought we should give you some practical examples today for giving you an example so you can see the difference between the ultrasonic and the radar. So let's start with the rain. It's not so easy to bring the rain in the office to you, Folke. But after rain, there is always sun. Maybe you can show us what's happened when it's sunshine.
Definitely. As you said, it's not a good idea to bring rain here into the studio. So we decided to show you another effect. So to show you the difference between ultrasonic, which is this sensor, and the radar sensor, which is on the right side, we have prepared this model for you. Both sensors are connected to this display, and you can see that they have nearly the same value that they detect. Now I want to use this warm air blower to show what is happening when wind is coming. So no rain, but wind. And especially what is happening when there is warm wind, like we have now with this warm air blower. I turn it right now on. So a little bit of wind is coming. And what is happening right now, it's the same when you are talking to a friend close to the coastline. Due to the wind, sometimes you may not understand the word in a sentence. A word is missing. And then you have to ask again, hey, what did you say? This is the same with ultrasonic because it is a mechanical wave. And due to that fact, the wave is blown away by the wind. You already see right now that the value from the ultrasonic sensor has changed from more than 50 to sometimes lower than 50. So there is a big impact on the measured value, and you may have big trouble when you measure with such an unreliable technology in your process. Due to the fact that the radar sensor is not a mechanical wave, it's an electromagnetical wave. It is not influenced and not affected by warm air. So due to that fact, we have a reliable measurement with radar compared to ultrasonic. So this is the first difference between those two technologies, and you see that radar is much more reliable when doing only a simple measurement in the tank of your fishes. So this is not the only technology we have. We have more technology. So right now we want to talk about another effect when we want to compare these two technologies. Nils, would you please tell me about another effect? I guess there are some more.
Yes, it is. The fish tank is normally located outside. We also have seen that some of these tanks are also, the new plants are located inside. So we Due to the weather challenges, when the tank is located outside, the surface in the fish tank could be fluctuating. When we also are feeding the fish, there will also be a fluctuating surface, and these both could be problems for a non-contact level measurement. So Volker, will you show us what's happening between the ultrasonic and radar technology when the surface is fluctuating in, for example, in the fish tank?
Yes, there is an effect, and this effect is very big when using technology like ultrasonic. To show you this, I have prepared this model here next to me. Again, ultrasonic mounted on top and a radar sensor mounted next to it. Both show 20% of value, so both have a reliable measurement, but the value and the surface of the water is stable, nothing is moving. Now I want to show what is happening when bubbles are coming up. So please look what is happening even after a few seconds, bubbles coming up and having a fluctuating surface. The ultrasonic has lost the value after only a few seconds. The radar is still completely reliable, no change of value due to the fact that it's an electromagnetic wave and is not affected by such bubbles by a fluctuating surface. So this is one big advantage of radar. Another one. There is another technology, as I already mentioned. We have not only radar, we have also hydrostatic pressure measurement, like we have with this sensor. This sensor is made with a ceramic cell, and this ceramic cell has one big advantage: it is very robust. So even when the sensor is coming into a rough layer on the bottom of the tank, like I have in this example sand, the ceramic cell is not influenced at all, and even when there are more harsh environments, the sensor is not affected by things like that. You can get the sensor from us with a different cable length like you need. Doesn't matter which length, you can simply tell us and we will be able to deliver that for you. So this is the hydrostatic pressure measurement called VEGA Well, a very well-known sensor used in big quantities over many decades. So if you want to have a closer look to the values, Paul, which solutions can we offer then? Do you want to tell us something right now?
Yes, I want to.
That on.
So this is the radar different versions we have. You can have them in an IP68 solution with a cable directly fitted on, and in different sizes for different sizes of silos. Or if you like, you can have it as one complete unit, also with the possibility of an indicator on. So this is the two versions that we have. And Nils, do we have other application in this industry?
Yes, the next application we want to talk about is the silage tanks. This tank, the silage tank is a tank containing fish waste. The silage is normally used for manufacturing animal feed. And to stabilize the pH in these tanks, we add acid named formic acid. The silage is a very harsh medium. So if you want to have level measurement in such tanks, you need to know what you can use that can handle the acid, the buildup, the cleaning products, the foam, the gas, etc. So it's not very easy to have a level measurement in such tanks. So Paul, would you mention or show us the first top-mounted solution for level measurement in silage tanks?
Yes, but first, did you know that formic acid absorbs sound waves? So it's important to choose a technology which is able to handle the condition inside the tank. So in this case, we will use a radar, and maybe we should show the audience the difference between the ultrasonic and the radar when it comes to gas. Volker, you have to help me since you are in Germany. can you please show us the tank with the gas?
Yes, I can. As Paul said, gas affects ultrasonic, and you know ultrasonic is a mechanical wave. But radar is an electromagnetical wave, and that is not affected by gas layers. I have this model next to me, where we again have our ultrasonic sensor and again our radar sensor. Both have nearly the same value that they measure, and now I want to show you what is happening when I create a gas layer on top of the liquid that is inside of this tank. So for that, I have this carbon dioxide here, and now I want to blow some carbon dioxide in that tank. So give attention. 3, 2, 1, go! You immediately see an impact, a really big impact on the ultrasonic sensor. The ultrasonic sensor shows a change of more than 20% of the value. This is due to the gas layer on top of the liquid. Whereas the radar sensor is stable and does not show any influence of the value. This is a big difference, and especially in this application, it may help. Furthermore, there's another advantage that I want to show you, and this is that you're able to measure through the tank wall. Because radar is not affected by plastic, you're able to measure without a hole in your tank wall. So this is a very big advantage of radar and can help you when you do not want to have any holes in your tanks. So this is the advantage from our top-mounted solution. Nils, do we also have a bottom-mounted solution that can help?
Yes, we could use a pressure transmitter mounted in the bottom of the tank to measure level in the silage tank. And when we are talking about level measure in such a harsh medium, we need to have a sensor that could be in contact with the acids and the cleaning products in the tank, but we also need to have a sensor that could easily be cleaned if necessary. So this is the VEGA Bar 82, our high-end pressure sensor with an absolutely front flush ceramic version. And we also have added a seal inside here that could handle the formic acid and the cleaning products. You could also take the sensor out and easily clean it with a steel brush without making any damage to the sensor. So all the chemicals that we are using in the silage tanks needs to be stored somewhere. Could you tell us more about that, Paul?
Yes, these chemicals, they often come in small containers, also called IBC tanks. And there we have a special sensor that can be easily fitted to the IBC tank and measure through the roof, as you said. Volker, can you show us this solution?
Yes, for sure. So when you want to use IBC tanks, you have the requirement that those IBC tanks are mobile. They can be standing next to a tank, next to a ship, next to your production line, or wherever. For this, you need a battery-powered solution like the VEGA Pulse Air. This sensor is able to deliver values, measurements over many, many years without powering it from outside. Battery is integrated, and the sensor can easily be mounted on the IBC tank like this, just gluing it on top of the tank, and the measurement can be done through the top of the tank. Furthermore, how do you get the values in your cloud? Very easy. Use your smartphone. Use our VEGA Tools app. It is for free available, free of charge, and activate the sensor in this way. That's everything you need to onboard this sensor to get the values from this sensor to the cloud, where you can do many more things. A very easy solution with the help of our VEGA Tools app, especially for IBC containers created. The VEGA Pulse Air, the next generation of IoT sensor. So of course, not only chemicals, not only silage is in the process. Of course, the salmon, they grow up from 0 up to 5 kilograms. They need more. They need food. They need a lot of food. And for that, companies produce fish food. They are on site, typically close to the coastline, somewhere stored in big tanks. And there you need a measurement. This measurement can be, for example, our VEGA Pulse 69. The VEGA Pulse 69 is our solution for up to 120 meters of distance to measure. So this sensor has a very good sensitivity and helps you to work even in those dusty environments where the fish food may create build-up or even, as I said, have a dusty environment. The VEGA Pulse 69 is mounted on top, like always with our radar sensors, and they can handle those very difficult measurements because I said they have created build-ups and they have created a dusty environment from the pellets. Then the food needs to come to the place where the fishes are. It's the fish tank again. And there you have a feeder close to the fish tank, which brings out the food pellets to the fish. And there again, you need a measurement that is reliable. And here again, radar is a very big solution, a very good solution. Sorry for that. It's a very good solution because, as you see here, it can measure through the glass. It is possible to mount the sensor outside of the tank, so you have no contact to the food and can then, due to that fact, ensure that you have no things in your tank that you don't like to have. Maybe you need a dry run solution, and for that we also have a solution. It's a point level detection on the bottom side of that tank if you want to prevent any kind of dry run close to the engine. So when the fish then have grown up, they go outside. They go to the so-called grow out tanks, which are typically, when salmon is produced, offshore. And when the fishes are offshore, they again need very big amount of food, and this food is typically stored in such feeding barges. These feeding barges have few tanks inside, and there again you have the possibility to use our VEGA Pulse radar sensor here on top of the tank to send the sensor to a cloud system and there manage your feeding and manage the logistics. Furthermore, you want to prevent that there's any dry run, so therefore we also have the possibility to add such a point level detection on the bottom side of such a tank. Be aware, these are ships, and for sure there are quite a lot more applications here. There are diesel tanks where you want to store some fuel. There are ballast tanks. There are many, many more pressure measurement locations and measurements which can be done by VEGA sensors. Please contact our regional sales guy. He can help you with all those measurements when you need one. Okay. What else can we deliver to our customer? Paul, what is also a big thing that our customer wants to have from us? Can you tell us more about our additional things that we deliver?
Yes, when you measure the level in these tanks, you want to have it displayed somewhere. This can be done in different ways. You can have it directly mounted on each sensor, or you can have an indicator located beside the tank. This indicator can also have a pump control located inside. So in a way, it can be a small local control system. But more interesting is that we have a software which can then display it on the screen. So we can collect all the data from all the tanks we are measuring. So, and on the event, so please go to the next picture. On on the PowerPoint. Yes, here we can see a typical application where we are measuring the level in the production area, the transportation, and also and the location at the sea. And we are exporting all the data into the cloud, and then we can display it on every computer in the world. So this gives you the opportunity to have information about your storage of chemicals and food. So on Invent, the software can tell your supplier that I need more food or more chemicals. Or it can send an email to a dedicated person or an SMS or something. And this is software we are supplying to you. If you already have a system, we can alternatively collect all the measured data from you and export it into your system, maybe as an OPC UA format or something like this. The sensors on each location is exporting the signals in different ways. For example, it can have a built-in SIM card and act like a mobile phone. We are using the NB-IoT. Maybe also you are familiar with the LoRa networks, and if not, we can inform you about this. Maybe you have a network already, and if not, we can make one for you. So these are the different possibilities we have. For displaying in the unit. And all of our sensors, they are calibrated at the factory. So a radar knows that a meter are a meter. But Volker, we need to set it up when the customer receives the sensor at site. We need to adapt it to the local application. And for this, we need a simple way of doing it. Can you tell us about a simple way to set up the sensor? Can anyone do this?
Yes, of course. We have one of the easiest solutions that you can imagine. You can do it by a smartphone. You can set up our sensors from everywhere. So stand 5 meters away where your sensor is mounted on top of the tank and connect to your sensor by using our VEGA Tools app. This VEGA Tools app, which you see here on this tablet, is available free of charge in all our app stores worldwide. So it's free of charge and available everywhere and all over the world. What else do you need? You need a sensor. For example, this pressure sensor here has the Bluetooth technology integrated and therefore can be connected to our VEGA Tools app. If you want to see what is going on when the pressure rises, you see a certain amount of pressure is reached and the sensor changes to another color, here in that case blue. And now I want to show you how easy it is to connect to this sensor and to change here any kind of settings. For that, I select the right sensor in the app, click on it, and then automatically the sensor is connected together to the tablet. It is indicated by a flashing of the LED, and then we are already online. Nothing more to do. Now we want to change something. Currently we have 0 bar, 4 milliamps output, and now we want to change something. For that I enter this menu, and here you can change everything on the sensor. You can, for example, simply change the switching points where your output changes the state, or you can, another example, change the indication. As I already said, blue is when the pressure rises, and here we want to change this now, let's say to yellow, because of course we love yellow. We change it to yellow, and now I want to show you what happens when the pressure rises. We have no more blue indication, we have the yellow indication. So a very good thing to adjust the sensor to your needs. If you want that all of your system has the same lighting, you have the possibility to change this in a very easy way with the help of our VEGA Tools app. This is not only possible for this small pressure sensor or for our point level sensors. This is also possible for all of our Blick series, for example this VEGA Pulse. Here we have a solution which is called the Kvam with Bluetooth. It's very easy, just mount it on the sensor and you can do the same things as I mentioned before with the pressure sensor. No more settings, nothing else, just mount the Kvam on your Blix sensor and it works. So this is how easy our setup can be done. A very good idea, I think. And Paul, what does our customer think about that? Can you tell us something, how the customer appreciates this? And we are nearly coming to an end. What is the summary of you regarding the aquaculture industry?
This feature with the programming is very helpful for the customers. They can store units on their local stocks and very, very easily adapt them to the new applications. So let's make a summary. Today we have been through some of the main applications within this industry. We have been talking about fish tanks, chemical tanks, silage tanks, and food and feeding systems. We have focused on telling you the difference between two technologies, which today looks more or less the same. They also operate nearly in the same way. One sensor is sending out sound waves, and the other one is sending out microwaves. And we have seen conditions and applications which are very typical for this industry, where one measuring principle works all the time and the other one fails. So it's important to choose the right sensor because, of course, we want a sensor that works all the time. So the radar is the future of level measurement within this factor. Earlier days, there was a big price difference between these two technologies, but today the price is more or less the same. We have seen examples how easy it is to set it up, and we have seen application examples also. So a radar sensor can measure solid silos with up to 120-meter height. You do not find so many of these silos in this industry, but it gives you an impression of the safety factor we have when we are measuring in 30-meter height silos. And we have also seen how easy it is to mount it and measure in small tanks, like in the IBC tanks, where you can measure through the top without taking a hole. We have also shown you a little bit example of the visualization possibilities and how easy it is to set it up. So this was our main message today to the audience.
When you have further questions, as I said, contact our regional salespeople. We have regional salespeople all over the world in nearly every country of the world. Contact them. They can give you a very good recommendation which sensor fits to your application, and this may help you. Follow us on, for example, LinkedIn, where we have our company site, and of course visit our web page vega.com. There you get a lot of more applications in this industry, which we are not able to show here due to the limited amount of time. Go to our webpage. There are a lot of more applications that are in that industry, in the aquaculture industry. So far, everything from me. Paul, Nils, have you something to add?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you for participate. Do not hesitate to contact us for everyone if you have any questions regarding applications or instruments. So have a nice day. Thank
you for listening.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. See you. Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye-bye.